Hey everybody. As always, I hope you're doing well out there. Today I'm going to be doing a video to try and walk you through all of the different alert options that you've got on your Garmin Instinct Solar watch. So first let me start by saying I'm going to be using the watch today as delivered from Garmin. I haven't made any adjustments to any of the hotkeys. Now if you've watched my videos in the past, some of this is going to be a little bit of refresher because I've done specific videos on specific alerts before, but in this video I'm going to try and show you all of the different alerts in a single video. So the first thing we need to do is we need to understand the difference between alerts and notifications. A lot of people get this mixed up. An alert is something that the watch will notify you of whether you're connected to another device or not. So if I'm going on a hike and I leave my cell phone in the car, I can still get an alert on my watch letting me know that I've hit a certain altitude or that I need to take a break, stuff like that. A notification is going to be something that the watch will let you know, but it comes from a third-party device. So for example, if I want to see that somebody posted on Facebook, that comes from my cell phone and is viewable on my watch as a notification. So that's kind of the difference between notifications and alerts. In this video, we're not going to be talking about notifications. We're just going to be looking at some of the different alerts that you can get on this watch. I'm going to try and hit them all. In the event that I miss any of them, I hope that somebody will post in the comments and let me know and let the other people viewing know that I missed it and there's an option out there for it. So let's go ahead and get started. So I thought I might start with what I consider to be the most complicated alert that you can set on your Garmin Instinct watch, and that is the activity alerts. Now I'm going to go through this really quick. As I mentioned before, a lot of these alerts I've done in-depth, slower videos specific to the alert. In this video, I'm going to run through them really quick just to show you all the alerts that are out there. So to do an activity alert, from the main screen, you'll press and hold the menu button, arrow down to settings, and then choose activities and apps. Activity alerts allow you to set a specific set of alerts per activity. So for example, I'm going to choose the walk activity. I'm going to go into my walk settings and I'm going to arrow down to alerts. I can add as many alerts in here as I want to. I can do a custom alert, or I can use some of the values that they've got predefined for this activity. Certain values will be in all activities. There are certain activities that will only have certain alerts available to them. But you can set any alert you want to during this activity. So for example, let's start with something easy. Distance. I can set an alert to say, look, once I've gone 1 mile, give me an alert. I've successfully set a distance alert in my walking activity. For every 1 mile that I walk during my activity, alert me. Then I can go and add a second alert. Maybe I want to do something more complicated like the heart rate. I can say, look, once I get to aerobic level 3, alert me. And if I drop down to level 1, which is warm up, alert me. So now I've successfully set a alert to say if I'm between 88 and 141 beats per minute, give me an alert for my heart rate. I've also got the distance alert on there. And these are specific per activity. So those are the alerts that I've set for my walking activities. I can go set totally different alerts for every other activity. So if I want to go set some alerts for when I go fishing, I can do that. I can go into the settings, can do alerts, can add an alert. I can set whatever I want to. Maybe I want an alert for once I've been in a spot for an hour. So I can say, look, every hour alert me. So it tells me I need to go move to a different spot. And now I've successfully set a time alert in my fishing activity. So that's one type of alert you can do on your Garmin Instinct watch. It's activity alerts. You can set as many as you want per activity. So the next alert I'm going to show you, it happens to be my favorite alert on the watch. That's the storm alert. It's my favorite. It also happens to be the alert that I see the most people complaining about. Now there's a couple different ways you can get to this. I'm going to show you the way that I think is the easiest. Again, I've done an in-depth video on this alert. If you want to review that, I'm going to go through this really quickly. To get to that alert, just press and hold the set button from the main screen. And if you're not on it, use the up or down button till you see alerts. Press GPS to select alerts. And then if you arrow down, one of the options is going to be storm. You can choose that, and then you can either toggle it on or off. Now I've got my storm alert on. The other thing you can do is you can adjust the rate of barometric pressure change that it's going to take to trigger this alert. So what this alert does is it lets you know whenever there's a quick change in barometric pressure, which normally indicates that there's a storm coming. You know, barometric pressure will change over time, but whenever there's a fast increase or decrease in barometric pressure, it usually indicates there's some kind of storm pattern that's coming in. If you want to adjust your rate, you can see mine's currently at 0.133 inches of mercury per 3 hours. Well, I can adjust that to make it higher or lower in the event that I'm getting invalid storm alerts. Now notice mine's in inches of mercury. It's going to vary depending on how you have your barometric settings done on your barometer. So for example, if you're using hectopascals instead of inches of mercury, you'll be able to adjust it in hectopascals versus inches of mercury. But you just adjust it as you need, press GPS to select it, and that's really it. It's a very basic alert. It's either on or off, and then you can adjust the rate that's needed in order for the storm alert to be triggered based on your barometric pressure. So the next alert I'm going to show you is probably the most basic alert on this watch, and it's an alert that's pretty common on any digital watch that you get. That's the hourly chime. If you want to set an hourly chime, all you're going to do is press and hold the set button. Should take you to your alerts. If you don't see it, just use the up or down button until you're on the alert screen. Press GPS to select alerts, and then arrow down until you see hourly. And there's really two options. It's either on or it's off. That's it. Hourly chime basically just means at the top of every hour, when it hits the next hour, you'll hear a beep on your watch or you'll get a vibrate depending on what your alert settings are. Really easy setup. If you want to turn it on or off, that's where it's at. So the next alert I'm going to show you is the till sunset alert. To set this alert, you can press and hold the set button and then use the up or down button until you're on your alert screen. Press GPS to select alerts. And the first one you should see is a till sunset alert. You press GPS, you can either turn it on or off, and then you can also adjust the time. I actually find this to be a really cool alert. I don't use the till sunrise one as much. Till sunset's a great one, especially for somebody like me who's a hunter and I'm sleeping on the deer stand. It can alert me whenever it's an hour before sunset, because that's usually when the deer start moving and I can wake up and see what's going on. If you want to adjust your time, you just choose it and you can set whatever you want. It's going to use your sunset time at your given location, and then however many hours or minutes you've set before that. So I'm going to set it for 1 hour, and let's do 1 hour even. Oops. You can even set it per second. Once you've got it the way you want, you've successfully set your time. So now every day, 1 hour before sunset for the given day, my watch will give me an alert. So the next alert we're going to look at is the till sunrise alert. It's very much like the till sunset alert. All you're going to do is press and hold the set button. Use the up or down button until you get to your alert screen. Press GPS to select alerts, and then you're going to arrow down until you see till sunrise. Mine's currently off. If you press the GPS, you can toggle it on or off once you're in the screen, and then you can adjust the time. Again, it's going to use your current GPS location and then whatever time you've got set to alert you before that event occurs. So if I press GPS, I can go in here and adjust the minutes, hours, and seconds to anything I want to. I'm going to put 15 minutes. I've successfully set my time. Now every day, 15 minutes before sunrise for the given day, my watch will give me an alert. Once you're done, just press the back button and you've successfully set the sunrise alert. So the next alert we're going to look at is the move alert. Now if you've got this turned on, if you've been sitting for an hour or longer, basically you'll have an alert that'll notify you to get up and move around. You'll have an alert as well as a move bar that'll appear on the watch. If you don't get up and move around, after 15 minutes, it'll keep alerting you to get up and move. If you want to turn this on, press and hold the menu button, arrow down to settings, arrow down to activity tracking, and it's right there called Move Alert. No options with it, just on or off. It's a really nice feature, especially for somebody like me who sits in an office all day, just to remind you to get up and move around. Again, after 1 hour of non-activity, if you've got this on, it'll alert you to get up and move. So the next alert I'm going to be showing you is the activity tracking goal alert. So what that means is if you've got activity tracking turned on, now I've done some in-depth videos about activity tracking and step tracking and floors, climbs, stuff like that. But I'm going to go through this really quick. If you have activity tracking turned on and you've hit a given goal for the day, you can be alerted to let you know that you hit that goal. So for example, if my step goal is 10,000 steps a day, Once I hit 10,000 steps, my Garmin can alert and let me know that I've hit my step goal. If you want to turn this on, you're just going to press and hold the menu button, arrow down to settings, arrow down to activity tracking, and then you're going to arrow down to goal alerts. And I'm going to choose this. You've got a couple different options. You can either turn them on, off, or you can have them on but not while you're in an activity, which basically means if I'm doing an activity, don't give me any goal alerts. If you want to just turn it on, you can just choose on. Once you've got it set the way you want, just press the back button, and that's how you successfully set the activity tracking goal alerts. The next alert is one that I recommend for everybody. I think this alert is only available if you've got the Garmin Instinct Solar, but I could be wrong about that. It's a really good alert, especially for somebody like me who doesn't show your battery level on your watch face, and that's the low battery alert. What the low battery alert will do is it'll allow you to set a threshold to where once your battery gets to within a certain range of being dead, it can alert you so you know that you need to charge your battery within a certain amount of time. To set this, you're just going to press and hold the menu button. You're going to arrow down to settings, and then you're going to use the up or down button. I'm going to use up in this case to go to power manager, and then you're going to choose battery saver. Under battery saver, you've got the option all the way at the bottom for low battery alert. Mine's currently off. You've got a couple different options in here. You can leave it off, or if you want to set it, you can say, look, once my battery life gets to within 1 day of expiring, alert me. You can do 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, depending on your preference. Choose whichever day you want. I'm going to choose 1 day. And now we've successfully set our low battery alert. So the next alert I'm going to show you is the phone connection alert. Now this is an alert that a lot of people find very annoying. What it does is it will alert you every time your phone is connected to your watch and disconnected from your watch. And I can see where that would be annoying, but I can tell you from experience, I left my phone laying in an aisle at a Sam's Club one day, and my watch let me know that my phone wasn't near me. It let me know basically that my phone was gone, and that's how I ended up finding my phone. So I find this to be a pretty neat feature. If you want to turn it on, you just press and hold the menu button, go down to settings, choose settings, go down to phone, and there's an option for alerts, on or off. And again, this isn't notifications. All this is going to do is this is going to tell you whether or not your phone gets connected from the watch, connected to the watch or disconnected from the watch. So it's a pretty neat feature, especially if you're somebody who's prone to leaving your phone, or you want to know if your phone's not near you. This is a pretty neat alert to turn on. The next alert we'll look at is the abnormal heart rate alert. Now, in order to use this alert, you're going to have wrist-based heart rate monitoring turned on your watch. Once you've got that turned on, you're going to have the heart rate monitoring set as a widget. You'll just go to the widget, and once you're on it, just press and hold the menu button and select heart rate options. If you arrow down, one of the options under heart rate options is abnormal heart rate alerts. Press GPS to select that. You've got two different options in here. You can turn on an alert whenever you've got an abnormal high heartbeat range or a low range, or you can turn them both on. So I'm going to turn on the high alert. Once it's turned on, you'll notice that I can set a threshold. My threshold is currently at 130 beats per minute. If I hit 130 beats per minute, my Garmin Instinct will alert me that my heart rate is abnormally high. I can adjust this threshold to whatever I want. So I've got it set to 150, and then you can do the exact same thing for the low alert. If I turn on the low alert, I've got a threshold option. I can go in here and I can adjust it accordingly. So if I hit 40 beats per minute, I'll get an alert that my heart rate is abnormally low. That's how you set your abnormal heart rate alerts. So the next alert we're going to look at are your navigation alerts. And now these are going to be kind of similar to the activity alerts, except they're more designed for navigating purposes. To go to those alerts, all you're going to do is press and hold the menu button. You're going to arrow down to settings, and you're going to arrow down to navigation. Select navigation, and then you'll arrow down to alerts. And you've got a couple different options in here, and each of these options are adjustable based on your preferences. So for example, there's a final distance alert that you can set. If I choose that, I can turn it on, I can turn it off. And if I do turn it on, I can choose at what point do you navigate me that do you alert me that I'm close to my final distance? So I can say, let's just do 0.5 miles. Whenever I'm within 0.5 miles, of the destination that I'm navigating to, give me an alert. That's what that is. The other ones work kind of the same way. Final estimated time remaining would be if you're navigating somewhere and you're within so many minutes of getting there, you can set an alert. Again, just select it, choose your status, and then you can adjust the time. So I can say, when I'm within an hour of my destination, let me know, alert me. And then the last one that's in here, you don't really have any options on or any parameters that you can set, but it's the off course alert. And what this would be for is if you've downloaded or you're following a course and you get off of course, you can have the watch alert you to let you know that you're off course. So those are your different navigation alerts that you can set on your Garmin Instinct Solar. So the next alert we're going to look at is what's called the auto lap alert. Now this alert's kind of similar to the activities alert that we looked at earlier. The difference is this alert, instead of just giving you an alert when you've hit a certain value during your activity, this one will actually show you specific information depending on how you have the auto lap feature set up. I'm gonna go through it pretty quick. I did a detailed video a while back about how to use the auto lap feature. I'm just gonna show you how to get to the alert. So if you press and hold the menu button, you'll go down to settings, you'll choose settings, you'll choose activities and apps, and then you'll choose the given activity that you have the auto lap feature turned on for. Once you've chosen that activity, you'll press the settings button, and then you're going to arrow down. Now it's not under alerts, but instead it's under auto lap. Most activities will have this feature. There are some activities that do not have the feature. I'm going to go ahead and choose auto lap. Now one of two things can be the case here. You either have the auto lap feature off or you have it on. But assuming you have it on for the activity, when you're doing that activity, you've got a certain distance that's defined as your auto lap. Whenever that auto lap distance occurs, you're going to get an alert that will let you know the values that you've specified in that alert. So I'm going to go down here to the lap alert, and I'll show you what I mean. For mine, again, we're in the walking activity. We're looking at the auto lap settings. I've got two different fields that are going to show on my alert. One of them is my total time, and one of them is my distance. I can preview and see what that alert's going to look like. So every time I hit a lap, it'll show me the lap number, it'll show me my total time and my distance. And then you can adjust those accordingly. So if I want to see something other than total time, I can choose that value and change it to whatever I want to. But that's what the lap alert is. So again, it is specific to a given activity, and it's specific to the defined value of the distance of that activity. And if you've got it turned on, it'll follow the same rules as any other alert. It'll just alert and let you know that you've successfully completed a lap, and it'll give you the data values for that lap. So that's a quick look at most of the alerts that come on your Garmin Instinct Solar watch. The one thing I didn't put in here was the metronome alert. There is an alert within your metronome, but it's not really an alert, more so than it is just a frequency of sound based on how you have your metronome set up. So I didn't want to include that as an alert. Maybe I'll do a video one day on the metronome. The one thing I did think would be beneficial to show, and this is kind of a refresher for people who've seen it before, but all of the alerts that I just showed you, they're all going to follow your alert settings as far as how you have your alerts set up. And I'm going to walk through that really quick. We're going to press and hold the menu button. We're going to arrow down to settings. We're going to arrow down to system. And then we are going to go to sounds. And under sounds, you've got a couple different options. You've got alert tones and you've got vibration. And it's really pretty simple. If you've got vibration on, whenever you get an alert, your watch is going to vibrate. If it's off, your watch isn't going to vibrate. The alert tones is going to let you define whether or not your watch makes a noise whenever there's an alert or not. Mine's currently off, so if I get an alert, it'll show on my screen, but there won't be any sound. I can turn it on during activity only, or I can turn it on all the time. So you want to make sure, I get a lot of questions sometimes where people say, I'm getting alerts, but it's not vibrating, or it's vibrating, but it's not making a sound. This is where you're going to want to go look to see how you've got your alert sound and vibration set up. As always, I hope this video helps. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the feedback. If I missed any key alerts, be sure and put them in the comments so we can help other viewers that are viewing this video. Thanks again.